Hi, I'm Jenny and I'm here today to give the year ahead for the Virgo sign. Now Virgo, the traditional symbol for the Virgo would be the Lady Bountiful with the corn crown on her head and the snake or serpent under her foot, suppressing the lower energies. But she is the spring goddess and also the harvest goddess. And of course, in the northern hemisphere, that the time of harvest is now in the Virgo time of year. And in the southern hemisphere, of course, it is the spring time. So that connects with the Virgo sign traditionally. Virgo lady is an earth sign. So very often we could say she's down to earth and practical. Now, if we're talking about the male and the female Virgo sign when we look ahead. And that's what I've concentrated on, people that I know under that sign, whilst I've done the casting of the runes and when we look in the crystal ball in a few moments. But just to tell you a little bit more about that Virgo sign, we associate Virgo with beauty and purity. They love everything white or clean. They hate marks and stains on anything. They don't like smuttiness. They are pure of heart. Now that obviously will not appertain to every Virgo person, but that is underlying in some way in their character, whether it's liking beauty and purity in the home and cleanliness, or whether it's just in their nature that they don't like anything to be spoilt. They usually have things around their home that they see as beautiful, but they like tradition as well, and they like things that are renovated or kept up in good condition. So they very often choose to do things like that, renovation. They're also like the garden. They love flowers. That is the springtime flowers and the autumn fruit. So they love the gardening. And they're very proud of their home as well. And they're a very good host or hostess because they would make you feel very welcome because Lady Bountiful. So I've got the Virgo picture out. She is an earth sign, so she has got a practical side, but she can also be very romantic. And both the male and female of that sign don't like anything to be spoilt. When they're romantic, they will be constant. Now that, of course, there's always the exception to prove the rule. The tarot cards that I've drawn out for Virgo are the Knight in Shining Armour, the Knight of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Coins. Now, my mother was a Virgo, and she always reckoned that 6 was her lucky number. And I've been reading up on that, and I do think that the 6 does resonate with the Virgo sign. I won't say it's always lucky for them, but it means progress, and it means skill or abilities that they want to put out there into the world, and they want to be appreciated for them, whether it's in their home and whether they're doing flower arranging, gardening, or whether they're doing restoration work. They would want appreciation, and they will deserve it because they will do their best. The Five of Swords, though, if we're looking at the year ahead, there should be some progress in finances, whether they're buying or selling anything. They should get that right. And the Five of Swords says there is something now that they should put behind them and should try to move forward from. So if they've had an argument with anybody, or if there's been something a little bit negative in the last year, then it's saying put that away now and look and focus on what's happening now and what's happening for the future. And the Knight in Shining Armour will be somebody that's very helpful to them, possibly a water sign, as we've got possibly an air sign, as we've got 2 sword cards which represent the air element. Now when we look at the cubes casting, the runes that I've got, these are my original runes that I made myself for the Aquarian age. We have got Nordic runes, which are more traditional, but these are easy to read for people in today's world. Now, I see that April and September are marked out. This is the way they've fallen. And April and September, I have mentioned the spring and autumn is their time of year. And it looks to me as if there's going to be the key to something that they're desperately wanting that seems to come to them, whether by chance or whether by design, comes to them somewhere between April and September. And I would think that that will be April and September of next year. I think this year it is a busy time for them, sort of moving forward. There could be changes within their work sphere if they're working. And there's also the birth sign in their close proximity. So there could be news of a birth of a child. It seems to be coming from the family area into the home. But the birth sign can also indicate new prospects for them. If not a new home, then or a new baby in the family, then it may well be the new job. I think they will be influenced by some of the water signs, which I nearly slipped up and said water before because I was thinking about that. The Cancerian sign, the Scorpio sign, but also I do see in the crystal Taurus and Sagittarius. So various people will be influencing them with their changes. It might be time to cut some old connections, especially when they are moving forward into a new chapter of their life. And that will take them, I think, into new places. So if it's not house moves, I think their ambitions may take them to new places. Even if it's only going to somewhere on holiday, somewhere they've always wanted to go. And I do see sort of the exotic or the oriental around them. And it may be that, it may be just the takeaway on the corner, but I think there's something, some of the Virgos will be going to some more adventurous places. Certainly a possibility of crossing water. So if it's not across the sea, it would be in a different area. And they're not really a travel person. They like it when they are travelling, but they are a homebody in many ways, loving the things that they've collected in their home. I see the initial V, and that comes up between finances and effort. So something where they work might link with the initial V. But in the crystal ball, I also saw the initial S and the initial W. So watch for those initials, because where those names beginning with those letters will be significant for them, particularly where they are making strides to make changes. But they do like sort of constancy in their life, and I think that will be significant. In the crystal ball, I can see patterns that make up a kind of weave, and I think that they are weaving something for their future. Now that could come in the form of them actually making clothing or knitting something or weaving at a loom, but I think we could also take it as being that they're weaving the next pattern that they're going into, and it's perhaps quite daunting to them. It's a big step, and maybe one of the home signs, if not that Taurus person, then possibly Aries, will be linked with this weaving of something. I also see letters around them or paperwork at some point of the year, and I think that might be at Easter. And if there's any names with E and S in them that connect with the Virgos, that might tie in with paperwork. Well, that's about it for Virgo. Thanks for listening. Before I go, I just want to thank people that have bought my book, which is called The Soothsayer, my second book, and it's enabled me to send some money to the rare disease scleroderma and Professor Denton and his team for research. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.